Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last over a year and counting, because the daily stream streak remains strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for approximately the next 1 hour today, staff. It's going to be a short coffee break today. We've got things to do, errands. There's a lot going on, as you will soon be privy to. But before I begin with the stream subject, let me begin with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Dr. Optimus, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Sleepless Dragon, CD23, Dr. Wesker, Wandering by the Books, Chester Factory, Amber, 369 Destroyer, Skyro Shadowclaw, Puppet Boy, Kitty Fly, Silent Follower, Creepypasta George Harrison. Everybody who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Dr. Prazian, intern Sol Martin, intern Cricket, intern Dax Rays, intern Your Local Bean, intern Mailman Void, intern X Gamer, intern Keel Chicks, and intern Daniel Crosslover. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, before I begin today's stream subject, let me start with today's sponsors. Today is sponsored by the upcoming SCP Containment Breach, the movie. The movie, SCP Containment Breach version, is being kickstarted right now. We are slowly ticking up in the donations, but we've got to reach at least the minimum goal to make other investors think that we are a good target to make a movie to be in theaters. And so, the more you guys donate, and the more that you guys share this around, so we can get a higher donation number and a higher backer number, the more interested film people will be investing in said picture. Especially because if we succeed in getting it funded, I will be playing a supporting role in the movie. So, in case that sounds appealing to you, this is your opportunity. Furthermore, there is an SCP short film on YouTube I announced yesterday. And I'm now going to shout out Maidenless Jess, Froy, Amber, and I don't know for following the assignment and commenting on it to boost its support. Thank you for your service, members of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters in particular. Now, is there a baby in my box? There's a baby in the box. Wait a minute. How did you even get there, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie?
I can't contain her.
I did not even notice that she had invaded my personal space so thoroughly. You are a very tricky one. Yes, right on the mouth. That is where the kisses go. Puppy of Interest 42, of course, heard the humming of my intro and decided you all needed some attention. Obviously, it's you who needs the attention from her. That is what's clear here right now. She did a hecking sneaky just pit, that is correct. And now, a treat from the Containment Hazard Assessment Team to Puppy of Interest 42. Very good, baby. The sweetest pumpkin. Go, baby, go. And now for my allergies, so that I can make it through this coffee break without dying. Usually Charlemagne is that sneaky. Seems the puppy has learned a thing or two. Yes, Agent Charlemagne is, in fact, an influence. We're not sure good or bad at this point. Returning to the chat. So before I get into donations and general Q&A, let me start by saying, why does the stream subject have the moist critical seal of clickbait approval? What do I mean by the Dutch SCP situation is crazy? Well, let me tell you this. In the past, I've told you all that venting your anger can be habit forming. That can cause you to be an angrier person, more abusive. It could be bad for your health. And that in the instances where you feel like you might want to lash out, perhaps you should take a minute to perform what is called a halt check. A halt check means that you check if you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired before you start to react, because those things increase your anger and therefore might make you do things you would normally do. Now, am I Dr. Sherman hungry at this moment? No, because I lifted really heavy at the gym this morning, and therefore, as you gym rats will know, that suppresses your appetite. But I have a burrito for afterward ready with double chicken to make sure I get my protein gains. So I'm not hungry. Am I lonely? No. I have Puppy of Interest 42 codename Charlie. Agent Charlemagne is in the room. Agent Goose is in the room. You guys are in the room. So I am not lonely at this time. Am I tired? No. I have had a Red Bull this morning, and I also got to the appropriate amount of sleep. So the combination of sleep, energy drink caffeine, the gym workout has me quite wired. But am I angry? Oh, yes. I am angry and frustrated beyond my belief. And so I am going to break my rules and fly a little bit off the cuff today. Because if there's one thing it is okay to be angry about, it's when Nazis and pedos show up to the party. Allegedly. So what am I? Yes, Puppy of Interest 42. I also am frustrated. Yes, it's very bad. So, the Dutch SCP situation is crazy. What am I talking about? Well, first and foremost, I don't even know if the SCP Wiki has a Dutch branch. While I'm looking at the International Dutch SCP Foundation, I am not seeing that we even have a main Dutch SCP International. Okay, I did find the Dutch version of the SCP Foundation, so at least we know that exists. But this isn't revolving around the SCP Wiki, no. This is revolving around a quote-unquote controversial cosplay group out of Europe called Dutch SCP. They've just named themselves Dutch SCP. And I was approached as a prominent member of the community to spread awareness of this scenario. Now, of course, the first thing I did is I took a beat. I've been discussing this in back channels for several days to get the intel, to see what's going on. And it is a clusterfuck of epic proportions. I have no solid information except for things that infuriate me. And so everything I'm saying here is allegedly, and for you to be careful, especially if you happen to live closer to the Dutch. Because I, as an American heathen, I don't know any of these people. I don't know why they're asking me to talk about it. I don't know if anyone from the Dutch even watches me. But apparently, there's a cosplay group called Dutch SCP, and they have a Discord server. And their Discord server is full of Nazi and different racist memes. Very RPC coded, which I thought we had gotten rid of all those douchebags in the Purge back in, what was it, 2016? But apparently, some moderators of this Nazi meme posting Dutch cosplay group also frequent fandom conventions in SCP cosplay, which gives the SCP fandom a bad name, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And apparently, at these conventions, they bully people who are not adjacent to their beliefs, which I don't approve of because these weak sauce losers need to stop being goobers. And apparently, someone in the higher ranks of this cosplay group of Nazi posting people is also a fan of dating minors, or at least say, dude, I hear you like 'em young situation. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. What's being done about this? Well, the question is, what can be done about this? The SCP Wiki staff, can they do anything about this? Well, if they're not involved in the Dutch branch of the SCP Wiki proper, if they're just a cosplay group off-site, Wiki staff doesn't have any reach. They have no control over what people do in their day-to-day lives. They just handle a Wikidot creative writing site. So if anyone involved has a Wikidot account and is found out to be a part of this sort of behavior, yeah, they're not going to be around much longer. At least Wiki staff is keeping an eye on that. The convention of fandoms that this group apparently frequents has been warned that this group exists. I know it's very upsetting, puppy of interest. The fandom convention has been warned that this group exists, that they have repugnant beliefs, and that they are bullying people who are not part of their beliefs. Well, that's good. Hopefully, people like this don't get to go to fandom conventions, especially if they are interested in minors. That's not good, if true. And what am I here about? Well, I was reached out to again because I was supposed to spread awareness. I don't know any of these people. I'm very confused as to why I'm being looped in. And then, apparently, there is a Discord server where the lead is a Nazi pedophile, allegedly. And the Discord server got traded off to a neutral party to try and clean it up. But Neutral Party A handed it off, Neutral Party A handed it off to Neutral Party B, and our lead accused threatened Neutral Party B with cybercrime law enforcement if they keep up accusing this person of being a Nazi pedo. Now, a lesson here for everybody. Do remember that when it comes to these kind of douchebags, they are pathetic, weak losers. They have to crush people they think are lesser than them because they are weak on their own. They are goobers of the highest order, not worth our time or attention. And usually, they will puff up, oh, I'm going to call law enforcement. I'm going to get cyber crimes on you for slandering me, as empty threats to intimidate you into silence. And so make sure you keep a hand, an eye, on these kind of negative people when they threaten you for outing them. Because usually they have no power, they are pathetic weasels, they don't deserve to see the light of day, and they will not see the light of God. But our neutral party B felt so threatened that they handed it off to neutral party C, and apparently neutral party C was actually friends with our accused. So the accused seems to be back in charge of the Discord server again and is claiming that law enforcement is looking at everything. And at the end of the day, I have no idea what the hell this is being done, how it's being handled. It's an entire clusterfuck. But at the end of the day, I'm just pissed off that I've been involved in it at all because I am on the other side of the world. I do not know any of you. You should not be posting Nazi memes. That seems bad. And therefore, the moral of the story, if there is a moral, is A, even posting edgy Nazi memes, not cool. Not just, why would you do that? Why are you posting Nazi memes? It's not edgy. You look like a Nazi. Don't be a Nazi. Second, wearing Nazi uniforms in your photos, that does push you from edgy memes to being a Nazi. Probably, I'm thinking, allegedly for legal purposes. 3, if you hear of a cosplay group called Dutch SCP, maybe think twice about interacting with them. I am very upset about Nazi and pedophilia adjacent people allegedly too. Puppy of Interest 42. It's not the kind of thing I want in my fandom. Could the wiki sue them for defamation since they're connecting them to the ideals they don't follow? Dr. Frogman, that is not possible. Unfortunately, fandoms like the SCP Foundation, like Umbrella Corp and Resident Evil, like anything that has tack gear adjacent things, it's catnip for Nazis. They want to feel tough. So they see tack gear and they buy their airsoft gear and they buy their Nazi uniforms and they feel like big strong men. It's pathetic. It's loserly. Everyone who cosplays SCP tack gear is not a Nazi. There are plenty of tack gear fans who are not Nazis, so don't paint them all with a broad brush. But keep your eyes open, because apparently there's some out there. I thought we got rid of them with the RPC, whatever the fuck they're called, Exodus. Would have been nice if they were all gone. And now there's Nazis again! It just pisses me the fuck off. It's a shame that I'm a Dutch person and that this happened, sadly, and this is probably going to make people shine us in a bad light. Real O5 Council, I do not believe, if you feel that way, that the entirety of the Dutch SCP fandom is Nazis. I do not think that. I do not think my chat thinks that, because my chat, my containment hazard assessment team, they're smart. They know what's going on. And so, yes, there is a core group of Nazi fans, just like there's a group in every country, because there's always losers. There's always losers. And so, do not fret, because if you act like a cool person, and you do not share Nazi and racist N-word memes, then we will not think you are a Nazi. It's not the Dutch. It's not the Germans, in this case. It's not the Americans. I feel like if they're Nazis, they aren't fans. Yeah, to be a fan of something means to like it. Bad people can like good things, unfortunately. We just have to tell them, hey, if you're a bad person, stay the fuck away from me. I've had this on the back burner for about a week now, and the situation just keeps shitballing. It's like snowballing, but it's all shit. And so at the end of the day, let's just remember, don't be racist. I am a site director. Intern, real extract. If you really want context, we've only been talking about it for about 15 minutes. Please go back into the chat, because I'm moving on to better issues, which is the rest of this general Q&A for about 40 minutes. I swear I could remember that SOM is Dutch. Should we be concerned? No, we should not be concerned that SOM Studios is Nazi adjacent. There is no way in hell that those dudes are Nazis, because those dudes have lives and good jobs and make cool art. The likelihood of them being, therefore, dumb and pathetic enough to be Nazi adjacent is lower and lower. Remember, the Nazis hate modern art. The Nazis burned books and art that disagreed with them. Artists have a much lower tendency to be Nazis. It's just part of, I don't know, creating things rather than burning them down. Okay, I am now going to leave this subject for the first 20 minutes of stream. It's in the coffers. You can watch the beginning if you need context. But we're going to general Q&A for the next 39 minutes. I'm going to read the donations that have come in, and we're going to... We're going to have a nice, happy time. Starting with Kitty Fly. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. And thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, as we know, only takes 3% of your donation while as a service fee, while YouTube Super Chats take 30% of every donation. So we definitely appreciate you making the effort to get your donation to go further. Grab yourself some street tacos on your way past the commissary. If I catch anyone dissing beginner artists on Fan Art Fridays, I'll hit them where the day don't break. I like that, where the day don't break. That's a pretty good SCP-ism right there. I like the way you're thinking, Kitty Fly. And also, yes, if you are rude to beginner artists, then they will probably give up art and not get better and make good art. And so you are squandering human potential when you are mean to newer artists. It is bad. Don't be mean about art, please. That's a new mantra here at Site 42. We'll get a shirt eventually, I think. RPC is not that bad. Intern, Phantom Archives. I was here in 2016 when RPC broke off. They may have gotten slightly better over time, but what they are is a splinter group who left so they could post Nazi and racist memes. Their Discord server is full of slurs. It is a bad place. It is a sick foundation. When the foundation of your building is garbage, you're going to have a very uphill battle to make it better. And I have not seen proof that it's gotten better. Nor do I care. I don't want to talk about them. I don't want them to exist. They left the SCP fandom. Good riddance. Who cares? All right, you're done. I don't care for your justification anymore. Goodbye. Next.
Chat need to behave themselves. I've had a debate a lot of people and put them in timeout. Y'all need to behave like adults. This is an important conversation.
Agent Goose is having to moderate a little much. Make sure you're chill, folks. See, when they said RPC isn't that bad, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. When they said who cares, yeah, that's when I stop believing you're in good faith. Bye-bye. Intern Potato, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some waffles on your way past the commissary. I just saw the cutest thing, SCP-729! SJ! What is everyone so scared about? So you're one of those Dr. Hessen weirdos. Go hang out with it if you like it so much. I'm uninterested. Is this multi-streamed? Nope, Zio, this is only on the YouTube vertical stream. Maybe we'll get the technology to multi-stream in the future, but we do not have that tech yet. Just a Factory, thank you for sending 4 stars with Aoki sending the 5th star. You are now a 5-star containment hazard assessment team. Congratulations on your high ranking. HRS 1197, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some Pocky on your way past the commissary. So, Dr. Sherman, what happens if an omnipresent entity looked at SCP-096 You know, with them being everywhere and nowhere and everywhere and no when. If SCP-096 literally cannot access you or cannot destroy you, similar to SCP-682, it has a little panic attack about being seen and then gives up. So, if that's the case, that's the case. Just a Factory, thank you for your 1-year anniversary as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your anniversary of membership and service. Have you read SCP-9100? It's good, but a long one. I don't believe I have read SCP-9100. I don't recognize the number. Nope, I do not recognize this article, but I can tell you that the author, Jezikcho, or Jezikso, however you pronounce their author handle, is the author of one of my favorite Shark Punching Center tales, Do Not Go Gently Into That Shark Night, which is a full-on cheesy action movie around the Shark Punching Center, facing a giant kaiju sharktopus. It is incredible, and so based on just the author alone, it's probably bomb as hell. I blindly recommend SCP-9100 just based on that alone. Leuna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a burrito on your way past the commissary. UK branch of Site 42 signing off. Good night. Well, good night to the UK branch. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some nachos on your way past the commissary. Insert Don't Be Racist, I Am a Building meme. Look it up. Oh, this chat is very familiar with Don't Be Racist, I Am a Building after, well, today's stream and also previous streams. Good meme. Classic. Intern Real Extract. Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. Google the word defenestrate. It's a funny word. Intern Silver Spoon, I am well familiar with the meaning of defenestrate. And having a word to mean throw someone out a window is good vocabulary to have. We are dung beetle Sisyphus, constantly pushing the shit boulder uphill. But we push the boulder to keep it away from the community we love at the bottom of the mountain. Yes, and one must imagine Sisyphus happy in the task of protecting those who need it. Even if it's a thankless job, even if it's an exhausting job. Doing the right thing is its own reward, and the strong are proud to do it. How many SCP-049s did you send to the cat-made waifu dimension? A 369 Destroyer, that was a very busy time in my life. It was a blur, but it was a righteous mission. I stand by it. I've lost count of how many SCP-049s I pushed in the cat-made waifu dimension to humiliate them as revenge for destroying my bro, Dr. Raymond Ham. But it was quite a large amount. At least 3 digits. Remember to hydrate, Site 42 staff. It's important. I remember a video addressed to writers under the site age requirement, advising practicing on a Google Doc or notebook, and I want to say thank you because that genuinely fueled my writing for half a year. That is brilliant. I'm very proud to hear it. Intern ready. When you are younger, your brain is more plasticity laden. It makes it easier for you to learn new things like languages, like skills. It's not impossible to teach an old dog new tricks, but it is harder. And so while you are young, under the age, if you practice your writing, if you take writing classes, you have the opportunity to be far better than someone like me who started later in life. So good work. Keep it up. Intern Leuna, I thought you were going to bed, but thank you for donating again. Would Power Rangers be a mobile task force or anomalies? Well, at first they would definitely be anomalies. We would try to contain them. But if we had the opportunity to recruit them to our purposes, then it would likely be similar to that SCP troop that is a bunch of gamers stuck in an infinite game of Quake, except they appear in real life and end up accidentally killing people until we told them what they were doing. What are those guys? 2369. SCP-2369, codename Video Game Violence, is about an anomalous group of shooters that we turned into a mobile task force so that they could do some good after all the destruction they caused by accident because they didn't know better. SCP-2639 is a very good story. I do recommend reading it. Very cool concept. And so, yes, we could possibly recruit the Power Rangers, although we have to watch out for the containing versus destroying. Because, again, these Quake players, they probably also are only deployed for anomalies we don't mind destroying. Whereas the Power Rangers, if we could get them to contain, that would be even better. Otherwise, they would be limited due to the fact that they usually destroy the monsters they fight. Intern Misty, thank you for sending a Booterfly to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure Dr. Kondraki is looking for it, though, so please return it at your best notice. Okay, Puppy of Interest, you were so sad about the Nazis. I get it. I will give you one more time for attention to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Look in the chat. You can see there's no Nazis here. There's no Nazis. You're safe from Nazis. The SCP Foundation is an LGBTQIA friendly fandom. We are not racist. We are a building. Very good girl. Now be free. Wouldn't they function similar to Samsara? I mean, they're recruited to protect the Earth, and yes, they typically destroy the monsters they fight. They would give us information on the big bad. Captain Gilbert, yes, that's another Power Rangers. Actually, we jokingly call Mobile Task Force Samsara the Power Rangers as a nickname. But yes, they get limited use because we focus on containment. But when we do have to blow something up real good, they can be useful. Interns Plasma and SCP-165, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Misty, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You've now looped them past a 5-star team, back down to a 2-star team. So, Containment Hazard Assessment team, make sure to hit the goals you need to make yourself a 5-star team again. Intern Daniel Cross, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Intern Keegan, please do not spam the chat with emotes. We have a rule here. Green names are allowed to use more than 4 emojis, but they have to watch it so they don't get spammy. But if you are a white name, you must be limited to 4 emojis. Overdo it, you get deleted. Overdo it too many times, you get blocked. We are harsh but fair here at the Foundation. You didn't know? This is your warning. Does emoticons count? I'm going to say yes, Cricket. I don't want any loopholes. Intern HRS, thank you for donating again to say, could someone teleport out of SCP-3008? Is SCP-3008 infinite in every direction, like up and down, left and right? Would Kane hate SCP-3008 or like it he alone in? Well, first of all, you can't teleport out of SCP-3008 because it is a dimension. The Infinite Furniture Store is a dimension, so unless you can find the door, you can't get out. Now, if you could sense the door and teleport to it, that would be an easy way to get out, but most people are not that kind of teleporter. Now, I don't know Kane, and I don't know how they would feel about being in an infinite furniture store. All right, so we were here, and then 1, 2, 3, then 1. All right, so Misty Peaks, you sent 3 more stars to make the chat a 5-star team. Good work. And then intern Bobs sent 1, 2, 3. And then Misty sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another 5 plus 3. That means we're a 3-star team. So that was a lot of stars, but you looped a couple times. So we're a 3-star chat at the moment. Let's see if we can get back to being a 5-star chat. When did you get your hair done? Well, I've been coloring my hair in multiple colorations for over the last year, but this particular color scheme was April Fool's Day, actually. Intern Nana. Bro, shut the fuck up about the Dutch SCP. You weren't there. You have no idea how things went. I made it clear I wasn't there. I made it clear that I only have the intel I have. If you watch the beginning of the stream, then you'll know what I said. But why don't you stop being such a negative Nelly when I'm telling people that if there's Nazi memes, the people there aren't cool? I think that's pretty non-controversial. I left a lot of allegedlys. I don't know what's actually happening, but if there's Nazi shit, it's bad and they should knock it off. All I'm saying is be safe of Nazis. Do you have a problem with be safe of Nazis? I hope not. Intern HRS, thank you for donating again to say Cain as in Cain and Abel. I am not a big follower of interview logs with SCP-073, so I don't keep a lot of track on Cain's preferences. If Cain really wants to be alone that bad, though, the Infinite IKEA won't help because of the employees and the survivors. So I would say probably a bad thing. Intern Misty Peaks, thank you for sending 2 more stars. Now the Containment Hazard Sesame team is a 5-star chat. And now Chesta Factory has started sending stars. Let's see where Chesta Factory ends. While we wait for Chesta Factory to end. Oh, you're stopping at 7? So they're a 2-star team again? Very nice. And it's red. The Dutch SCP are not Nazis at all. Well, the screen caps I was given showed a lot of Nazi memes. That's all I'm saying. The cosplay group and their Discord server showed a lot of Nazi memes. If that's untrue, I will retract it. But there seems to be a big kerfuffle over it. There's a lot of smoke. And I'm pissed off about it, which is why I'm saying, hey, maybe people should be aware and check it out. And hey, give me some more intel. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So that's 2 plus 6 brings us to 3-star team, Misty. Thank you for sending more stars. You're making it hard for me to count, guys. 369 Destroyer, 6-month member message. Thank you for your 6 months as a level 1 researcher. That Dutch SCP group would love SCP-8812. Ah, yes, the white power hammer that gives you superpowers if you're racist. But then you are not invincible, and we usually just throw those guys into the meat grinder and they get killed, which is funny. Considering the fact that we contain an immortal version of Hitler, I don't think we're Nazis. Dax Rays, you got to be careful with logic like that because the SCP Foundation contains it because it's anomalous. That's the main reason. Now, we use Immortal Clone Hitler as a punching bag for stress relief, and that makes me feel better about it. Misty Peaks, thank you for sending 22 stars. 22 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoy all the glitter. Intern Ann is red. I hate how this started Alritsu. Well, Intern Ann is rad. Again, that is one of the people I talked to in this as a source, and they did have several posts that were very controversial. as well. But again, I don't know these people. I only know what they were posting. And it wasn't just that person sharing Nazi memes in the server or wearing Nazi uniforms. If anything, I'm not saying all of the Dutch SCP cosplay group is Nazis, but I am saying they need to clean up their mess. Because if you let any of that around, you're going to have problems like this. Intern HRS, thank you for donating again to say. Would 076 Abel revive in his sarcophagus? Remember, it's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. All anomalies in containment are its, not he's or hims or she's or hers. It's. They are objects, not people. Don't humanize the anomalies. Professionalism, please. Revive in its sarcophagus if it turned to stone by Medusa, if it looked at her and turned to stone. I do believe that Abel turning into stone would cease all of Abel's biological functions, causing it to be theoretically dead, and it would regenerate. Yes. A lot of us are completely cutting ties with DSCP. That one Thomas. Thank you for thank you for more intel. I'm always open to more intel. As much as I don't like the situation, I'd like clarity, and that's why I raged this at the start of stream, because it's been such a clusterfuck, and I just like it to be cleaned up, please. I like anyone who is Nazi adjacent to fuck off. And so, yes, I do not know why all of the memes of Nazism were in there, but they should. And people who do that should knock it off. And I don't care if you are not a Nazi, but you share Nazi memes. That still makes you look like a Nazi. So stop it. Intern noob unknown. Because you were a douchebag to me, I'm not going to answer your question today. There's nearly 100 people in this chat. I haven't seen your name until now, and the first time I see your name, you're insulting me. Learn to be polite. I don't mind if you ask your question again and again, because I might not see it. You're allowed to ask. I don't consider that spamming. The moderators don't stop that. But when you're mean, I'm uninterested. So, Shane Pepple, I believe you are the accused of the entire situation with DSCP. Am I wrong? Is that your user handle? You are currently in my chat? The whole Dutch SCP issues with authorities do unlawful actions, doxing, breaking of privacy conduct. Is sharing screen caps of conversations illegal in the Netherlands? Is that what you're telling me? That's not illegal where I'm from. And showing people what you've said in private when it's that kind of growth is pretty okay in my book. Morality and legally are not always the same. Sometimes legal things are still really bad. Saying Nazi shit is legal in the United States. We have freedom of speech. But that doesn't mean you're not a terrible person for doing it. Private conversations, phone numbers, legal names. Not caring. Because Nazi shit. Exposing Nazis is the morally correct choice at all times. I did expect that perhaps making a stream about this would cause some people involved to show up. So I am very not shocked by this. I do only have 15 more minutes, though. I do have an appointment afterwards. So if this conversation is to continue, I just want you to know I will be cutting it off because of this situation. Are you the same Doctor Who interviews SCP-049, same voice, same name? Intern Light Doors, yes. I am the Dr. Theron Sherman from the SCP-049 interview log. I was asked to provide a voice for that, and actually, fun fact, it is the, how I say, progenitor of the Dr. Theron Sherman name. My SCP Wiki handle is the Sherm, and so Theron Sherman was brought from that. It sucks how Sherman's meant to be talking about anomalies, but however, it's these Dutch combos. Well, intern coolmate, part of my job is to keep an eye on the SCP fandom as a whole. It was a whole mess during the 2016 RPC fiasco, let me tell you. And it's important that we call out these things because we should not be hosting Nazis in our bar. Remember, you let one Nazi hang into the bar, they bring their friends, and all of a sudden your favorite hangout spot is a Nazi bar. The paradox of intolerance is that if you tolerate intolerance, then intolerance wins. Flag will clean up the audio desync. Misty Peaks, thank you for sending sunshine on a cloudy day to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Intern Smith, thank you for sending a floating heart. I'm sure they feel the love. Sleepless Songbird, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some chalupas on your way past the commissary. Sending love from the Wanderer's Library, Apothecary and General Store. P.S. Dr. Sherman, your dog is welcome to visit anytime. Oh, so Puppy of Interest 42 can visit, but not me? I see how it is. She is very adorable, though. I do get it. Harumph. TBN Riego, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself a pizza pie on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite SCP from each anomaly type, safe, Euclid, and Keter? Well, I do say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, and we are about 12 minutes from the end of stream. So if you want to wait till the end, I'll tell you my favorite SCPs. Amber, thank you for sending 2 floating hearts to the Containment Hazard says 3 floating hearts. I'm sure they feel the love. That one, Thomas. 10 months as a Mobile Task Force captain. Thank you for your service, and we look forward to your 2 years, or your 1-year anniversary coming up in 2 months. You're almost there. Do you like any race like Koreans? This is my second time asking. Intern Ariel Trochez, I am fine with all races and creeds as long as they are not dicks like Nazis. So, yeah, I'm fine with Korean people and people of all races. Intern Smith, thank you for sending 3 chili peppers to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy the hot treat. Intern Smith, thank you for sending some sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'll count them when you're done sending. 5 sparkles. I'm sure they enjoyed the glitter everywhere. Do you like SCP-049? Well, Intern Therian, since 049 killed my buddy Ray, it's a moderate dislike at best. I am Dutch and I am embarrassed for my fellow SCP enjoyers. In Dutch. Intern, Mr. YouTube, you don't have to be embarrassed to be Dutch or about the Dutch people who are not cool. You just have to make sure that if any of your friends are the not cool ones, you tell them to fuck off because they're Nazi bitches. For the ones who are Nazi bitches. Intern Misty Peaks, thank you for sending 70 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I've lost count. I'm just going to say you're a 5-star chat. I'm just going to go with that. Do you know Dr. Bob? Intern Therian. I have never communicated with Dr. Bob, one of the very few channels I haven't in the SCP world. Don't know how. They got Their creators are very mysterious. I don't know what company funds them. But similar to the Rubber and Detective Void and all, I do believe they are a company and not a single creator. But that's just a guess because I have no idea who they are. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Twix on your way past the commissary. Not National Autocorrect Nazis. Yerp. So yes, as we reach the last 10 minutes of stream, let me give you one more moral of the story on the Dutch SCP situation is crazy, which is, I don't know who's a Nazi. I don't know who's making Nazi memes. I don't know who is or isn't a pedo over there, but there's a lot of yelling about it. I'm annoyed at it. It doesn't seem to be handled very well. And just, if interacting with a cosplay group called Dutch SCP, keep your eyes open. Make sure you don't get covered in anything that smells bad. Because allegedly bad shit's happening over there. I would keep my eyes open. That's all I can say. Can you recommend any SCP content creators? Well, if you're looking for the regulars, the people who are around the most, I'd say Radiger, the Volgan, Mr. Illustrated, and Dr. Sumerian. For SCP filmmakers, Dark Math Films, Keter Labs is making SCP Containment Breach a movie. Let's fund that Kickstarter, please. Sozo Bear Films just dropped a new SCP short film, live action. I find some SCPs attractive. Intern British. We do not fraternize with anomalies. You best not be thinking about doing so. Control yourself. Follow protocol. You should look into Dr. Bob. Intern Trujillo, I've tried. I cannot find any trace of who is in charge of that channel. No social media. When it came to the Rubber and Detective Void, finding out who was actually making them, we ended up finding LinkedIns for people who had worked for them. And so that is how we discovered who the company was behind them. But for Dr. Bob, we have no idea. I am still wondering to this day. Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Just a Factory, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi to make your donation go further. Thank you for your membership as well. Grab yourself a little bit of chicken fry on your way past the commissary. Do you think glitter is anomalous, or do you think it will be just marked as unexplained at this point? Also, I think we're getting prestige 25 5-star team at this time. That is pretty impressive. 25 times the 5-star rank. You're working your way up in the world, chat. Good job. And then glitter is anomalous? Well, in the way that we all know, it's the herpes of the craft world. That's how I'll say it's anomalous. It never goes away. Never goes away. Philip November, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a enchilada on your way past the commissary. Tosses a marshmallow, bing, bang, into the room, exploding that thing over and over. Well, We can't destroy that thing, no matter how much I want to. But making it feel pain makes me happy. Refreshing the chat, refreshing the chat. Hey, Dr. Sherman, did you interview 049 and Site 42 once? Intern Light Doors, I kind of already answered this question, but since you asked it in a fairly different way, when I did interview SCP-049, it wasn't at Site 42. I had to go over there to interview 049, which I did because Dr. Raymond Ham was a personal friend, and I was very upset. Someone asked for one more visit from Puppy of Interest 42, and you have actually summoned the puppy somehow. And so, one more time before the stream ends, here is Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, the sweetest pumpkin in Site 42. You don't have to worry about the bad things in the world. You are safe in Site 42 where everything is good, except for the containment breaches, which are not happening right now. So you're safe and good and everything's fine. Rah. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, look at her. She doesn't know what taxes are. That's hilarious, Puppet Boy. Good work. Intern Sam, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a coffee on your way past the commissary. I do believe you have a lot of work to do. Intern Sam Spittler. Support from Area 19. Have your back, Dr. Sherman. Thanks for being on our side against the forces of evil. I do believe... hello, Philip November. Thank you for putting cat ears on me during the scenario. Very comical, even during a situation. So, yes, for those in the chat who are out of the know, Area 19 is a different SCP cosplay group that is engaged in the drama with Dutch SCP. And so they are part of my sources in what the hell's going on over there. Not that I actually know all that much, which is why all I can say in this stream is, allegedly there's Nazis and pedos in Dutch SCP. Maybe be safe and be aware. That's all I got to say. And Area 19 is one of many people who are talking to me about the situation. That is very confusing, and I'm upset just to have been involved in it. If I could not deal with Nazis again in my life, what a wonderful world it would be. Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say, did you see the one before the autocorrect? I lagged, so I'm not sure. And how was everyone's day? Blue Phantom, I'm going to check your chat history to confirm because there's been so many GIFs that I got confused. No, I didn't see your first one. Thank you for giving me that situation. Wasn't there a Bell SCP that brought an army of national Nazis through time and the SCP absolutely destroyed the Nazi army when they showed up? Well, if time-traveling Nazis showed up, I'm glad we crushed them. I've never heard of this SCP about a Bell that brought time-traveling Nazis, but I'm glad that we fucked up their days. Yes, SCP Foundation. Do it. And Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say that so I would know. 369 Destroyer, thank you for donating again to say. The accused went very quiet when called out. Yes, I do believe that was the person who is in the center of the controversy. And again, allegedly, I don't know the deal. This could be fake Discord posts. The person who informed me about the situation was also Nazi posting. Everything's chaos. I don't know what's up, which is why my moral of the story is stay safe here. At the end of the day, if anyone has ever seen the movie Burn After Reading, Burn After Reading is a movie I saw with some friends in theaters, and it's a Coen Brothers movie. It's very dry, and me and my friends were all confused the whole time. We did not know what we were watching. It was just chaos. And then at the end, when the credits rolled, we just started cackling for no reason. All of us were just laughing our ass off. We have no idea why we found it funny. But at the end of that movie, J.K. Simmons is the head of one of the United States intelligence directives. And he's got an underling with him. And he says, after all this chaos, this clusterfuck, he says, all right, so what do we learn? Well, never do that again. Yep. What do we do? I have no idea. All right. And so that's how I feel right now. I have no idea what happened, but just whatever Nazis or pedophiles are out there, fuck off. Agent Charlemagne is here to make us all feel better. Agent Charlemagne is here. The kitty is floating into screen to say hello. Oh, no pause today? No pause? Okay.
You're blocking his face.
Here, I'll scratch this side so he looks. There we go. Agent Charlemagne. Very good.
He's purring.
That's because he's a very sweet boy.
You go purr purr purr.
Intern Chill Guy. The SCP community is really getting the worst people for such a great and ironically loving place. Trust me, I am turning 40 this year. Every community has its asshats. You just got to get rid of them. Every community. I've been in theater troops. I've worked for businesses. I've been all over. Every group has the terrible people. It's not, oh, this fandom is toxic. It's every fandom has toxic elements. You'll find a better life when you get used to that fact. Why does my country's SCP community get allegedly involved with something like that? Intern Beastie, remember, it's not your whole fandom in that area. It's one cosplay group that is calling themselves Dutch SCP, and therefore it's making it sound like it's everybody. So remember, it's just one cosplay group calling themselves Dutch SCP. It's not the fandom in the Netherlands. Keep it straight, people. We got to keep our information clear. Dude, you look like you're in your 20s. Well, thank you, Intern Punisher. I eat well-ish. I stay hydrated. I wear sunscreen and moisturizer. And I work out. And that keeps you young, for sure. All right, a couple more donos. I am running over stream, so I will be ending stream very shortly. But I got to get through the last donos. D-Class Site 42, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Maybe it'll help them and you survive testing. Intern Kingston, thank you for sending a flow state. Even more likelihood that the D-Class from Site 42 will survive. Sam Spittler, thank you for sending an envelope. I'm sure it will contain good news for the chat. Intern Punisher, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. D-Class Site 42, thank you for sending a high five to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. A crisp high five makes everything better. Daniel Cross, thank you for sending a chili. I'm sure the chat will enjoy the spicy treat. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me make sure I don't forget it as we start to close out. The Thomas, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself some flapjacks on your way past the commissary. Why is there glitter all over my office? Yeah, there were a lot of sparkles thrown around. I'm sorry. We're working on cleanup, but you know how glitter is. It'll take a while. Intern Fine, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for making the effort to go through Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary, but only if you're ready to take the responsibility. What happened to the days when it was acceptable to punch Nazis in the face and not have them in law enforcement or private militias? Well,
It's always okay to punch Nazis.
It's still okay to punch Nazis, actually. That hasn't stopped. But some real dunderheads at Site 17 decided that the reality sink known as SCP-5004-B should be President of the United States to contain SCP-5004. And it's really fucked things up across the world, if I'm being honest. Dr. Theron Sherman says, fuck Donald Trump. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending 3 more sparkles. I'm sure that Thomas's office is even more filthy. Okay, Site 42 staff. It is the end of stream. It is well past the end of stream. I got it. Phil November, thank you for donating again to say, I am Fahen. It's pronounced Fahen. Thank you for donating to clarify that. I will try to remember that in the future. Fahen. 2 syllables. Fahen. Fahen. Hopefully that makes it stick in my head. Maybe I'll keep saying it, Fahen, over and over. Site 42, we are at the end of stream, and as we do as a tradition of the stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCTs. But before I do that, one more time, to be absolutely clear about this Dutch SCP situation that is crazy. A, there are lots of accusations going around about people dressing in Nazi uniforms in the Dutch SCP cosplay group. Remember, it's not the Dutch SCP fandom. It's one cosplay group calling themselves Dutch SCP. There's accusations of people dressing up in Nazi uniforms, people sharing Nazi and N-word memes. There's all sorts of accusations going, allegedly. What I'm saying is A, fuck Nazis. B, if you're sharing Nazi memes, I don't care if you're being ironic about it, you look like a Nazi, you should stop it. C, fuck pedophiles. D, if you interact with this DSCP community, cosplay community, make sure to keep your eyes open and don't get any trash on you. If there is trash, don't get it on you. Don't shout, you scare me. SCP Leah, while I do speak with the caps lock on due to being a theater person, there is the fact that I am heightened at this point because I am pissed off. Both at the situation and the way it's been handled, I'm exhausted and angry, and my adrenaline is in flux because fuck Nazis. Interns Panda Guy and intern Dr. Know-It-All, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. It's not Dutch as in the Netherlands. The lead guy is named Dutch? Really, intern Nil? You're kidding me. This whole time, it's been about a guy named Dutch and not Dutch as in Netherlands? That one Thomas says it is Dutch in the Netherlands. I was going to say, that was news to me. I was going to have a conniption live on stream. Listen, it doesn't matter if it's the Netherlands or not. If the cosplay group, watch yourself. That's all I'm saying. Keep an eye out for Nazis and pedophiles anywhere you go. Reminder, not so fun fact. The American population is around 330 million people. Around that ballpark. The American penal system has 1 million sex offenders on record. In America, the United States thereof, 1 out of 330 people are on the sex offenders list. If you're in a room with over 330 people, there is a statistical chance someone's not great. What I'm saying is be aware. What I'm saying is be careful. Yes, puppy of interest Charlie, you be careful too. You don't got to be paranoid all the time, but just be aware. Keep your eye open. That's all. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you don't get any Nazi or pedo goo on you. Now, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-501, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Codename not codename. Content warning, because that one's a rough read. I got bullied by... And meanwhile... You know what? I can't do an outro. I'm too stressed. I'm too annoyed. I'm too frustrated. There's too much going on. I've told you my favorite SCPs. Please support SCP Containment Breach the movie so we can have an SCP in movie in theaters. The Kickstarter is linked in the Site 42 support link, which is in the description of this VOD or pinned in the chat. I'm going to go do the rest of my errands and try to cool down so we can have a fun stream tomorrow. Ah! Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect, and fuck Nazis. Metaphorically. Ace of Luck, thank you for your first donation to this stream at the very last second. Grab yourself a cocktail on your way past the commentary. I sure need one. If Danhausen was an SCP, how would it be contained? Abilities include cursing others with bad luck, cloning, and minor mastery, and teleportation. Teleportation means it's very annoying. We probably can't contain it, unfortunately. All right. Going to the credit song. The fascist boys think they're double tough, but they just ain't tough enough. Get me a machine gun and do a song. Played a little Adolf all night long. Run, Hitler, run. We're coming to get you. You better run. You better run. Run, Hitler, run. You'll never get away. You better run. You better run. Run, Hitler, run. We're coming to get you. You better run. You better run. Run, Hitler, run. You'll never get away. You better run. You better run. The credit song is Run, Hitler, Run by the Dropkick Murphys. Based as hell. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you at the next video and stream.